Welcome to Daily Zohar. It's Erev Shabbat and Rosh Chodesh Sivan. The Zohar says on Shabbatot and Rashi Chodeshim, beginning of the month, Ubezmanim Uvechagim, during holidays, Yom Tov and so on, Nishkat ha'esh be'oto makom ve'enam nidonim. The spiritual place that here they don't use the word Gehenom, like hell, but in that place in the spiritual world, when the spiritual fire is working on those days, Shabbat, Chag, and so on and so forth, people are not being sentenced during those days. They're not getting the punishment during this day. Aval enam yotzim misham. They don't go out of there. Keshar reshayim sheyesh lahem menucha. There are certain people who don't go out of there. It's like a jail. You can go out to the, you don't have to be in your cell. You can go out, but you won't be able to go out to, the wedding of your daughter or something like that. Why? Because you're in jail. Everybody else goes. You are high security. You won't be able to get a vacation to go out from jail. So there are people like this. And kol elu amechalelim Shabbatot uzmanim. Who are those? All those who during their physical life, and that's what I'm trying to explain to myself and to you, that death is not the end of life. Death is the beginning of a spiritual life where we are living in a physical life. It's they're different types of lives. Some people, their lives are not lives, or their lives is not life. So those people who desecrated the Shabbat and the holidays and did not have any kind of concern to the honor of their masters at all, to keep them, but rather they desecrated deliberately in public. Kmo she'enam shomrim Shabbatot, they don't keep Shabbatot in this, the same thing as they don't keep Shabbat ba'olam hazeh. I don't want Shabbat, Shabbat, when am I supposed to go to the beach? When am I supposed to go out with my friends? When am I supposed to do this? Shabbat is for that. That's my rest. Rabbi, please don't tell me. That's my rest. That's how I rest. I said, excuse me, how could you rest when you go to the beach and you put suntan lotion and you fry like a shrimp, Put another shrimp on a barbie. Let's see one of you guys. How does this rest? You come up on Sunday, you wiped out from Shabbat. Like these people who go on vacations. Instead of vacation is supposed to rejuvenate you. You go to vacation, let's say you live in New York. So you want to go see Yosemite Park, Zion Park, Bryce Canyon, all these places, all these wonderful places. So imagine you live in New York. Where are you going on vacation? I'm going to LA. What'd you lose in LA? This is not a vacation. There's pollution there. By the way, it's so funny. California, it's like ridiculous. It's sometimes, I'm sorry I'm sidetracked, but it's so ridiculous to me. I saw yesterday a report of the 10 most polluted places in the United States. 7 of them are in California. And I thought California is so careful with pollution, It's like the places that have the more, let's not get into the gun debate, but you know what I'm saying. This doesn't make sense. It's like those people who call themselves liberals and all they do is take other people's liberties. This just doesn't make sense to me. Liberals are people who want liberty. Everybody can, not take it. You get the idea, right? So here these people didn't have any respect for HaKadosh Baruch Hu on Shabbat. They didn't, Shabbat, that's where I rest. No, it's not about you resting on Shabbat. That's the whole point. You think we are so full of ourselves that it's mind-boggling. You think Shabbat was given for you to rest. That's it. I worked hard enough and I need to rest. First of all, do you really work hard enough? How many people do you really know that are going to work I'm going to work. Most people are, okay, before 9 o'clock they were looking for 5. Well, what time is it? It's not 5 yet. Okay? Shabbat is given to you for a different reason. When you understand what things are, and again, if somebody wants to control you, or you want to be controlled by someone, the best way to do that is to take away their knowledge. The more you know, the less people will be able to control you. The less you know, the more you'll be controlled by others. Or by your shenanigans. Shabbat was given to us for something greater than to rest. To rest, we will rest in the grave. Shabbat was given to us to create a statement in the world. We are the statement. You know, people say they call themselves the J witnesses, right? You know those people, you know, the Christian sect, J witnesses. They're not J witnesses. We are. We are. The Jews are the testimony for God existence. So if you are the witness, you give the testimony, you have to be appropriate. What do we say about a person who is kasher le'edut? Who is appropriate to give a testimony? And there's the halachot for that. Not a gambler, not a liar, and so on and so forth. Only a loyal, righteous person that we know he is, he could be a witness. We are the witnesses. We give a testimony on the fact that God had created the world in 6 days or in 6 million years. It doesn't make a difference, but we make the statement that Kadosh Baruch Hu created the world in 6 days, ubayom hashvi'i Shabbat vayinafash, and he rested on the thing. It's not a day of rest, it's a day of acknowledging God. There's no bigger concept of Zen in the world than Shabbat. What's the sound of one hand clapping? I tell you, how could I give a testimony on the creation of everything in the world greater than one hand clapping? Simple as that. By not doing. For everything that happened in the world, from the beginning of time until now, I can give a testimony by doing one thing. Shabbat. It is a major concept. It's not about you. Don't think that the whole world is revolving around you. You are giving a job, and your job is to give a testimony that God created the world and He stopped on the 7th day, and that's what you're going to do. And from when He rested, that's the whole thing set into place and set into action, and then the world is the world the way we know it today. Now, if you don't, that's what we say, if a person desecrates the Shabbat in public, he is not concerned with the kavod of HaKadosh Baruch Hu, with the fact that HaKadosh Baruch Hu Himself created the world, and I'm saying, yes, He did it. Imagine your father would have been, I don't know, Eisenhower. And after the World War II, they will make a ticket bay parade for your father. He's sitting in the car, waving to everybody hello, and all that stuff. Confetti is flying down in the Grand Canyon of New York City, of flying papers, right? And then the camera zooms into you, the child of this great general. And you're sitting there, you're picking your nose. You don't care. What a disgrace to your father. You just don't care. Or you wear a Nazi swastika or a communist thing. It's a disgrace. So you weren't concerned with the kavod of HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Hey, not a problem. You're not going to be sentenced, but you're not going to leave. You're going to stay here. And he says, כמו שאינם שומרים שבתות בעולם הזה, כן אין שומרים אותו בעולם ההוא, ואין להם מנוחה. They don't have rest. In Olam Haba, in the spiritual world, is Midat Adin. You didn't do it, now you'll do it. You didn't want to rest on Shabbat. You made a choice not to rest on Shabbat. Hey, not a problem. Not a problem. You'll see what does it mean, consequences to your actions. You have to be responsible for your actions. Good. You didn't want to rest. Okay, how long we give you here in this world? Whatever it is, 80 years, 70 years, 90 years, whatever amount of years. No problem. Well, we'll take a part for good behavior. There is under before 13, we'll take. We'll also give you a little bit probation until you're 20. But 20 years old, you were a big man already, right? You were chasing whatever you were chasing. You were eating whatever you were eating. You were making a decision. You thought you were a big guy. You didn't want to do it. Deliberately, you didn't want to do it, right? And when you're 30, when you're 40, when you're 50, and so on and so on. You made a statement, I don't want to keep Shabbat. Remember this guy came and told you that? He said, I don't want to keep Shabbat. Okay, not a problem. Guess what? You made a decision. You made your choice. Now you're going to not keep Shabbat. Well, everybody else, but the only problem is, here is eternal. Here is into the end of time. Don't come crying to me. You made that decision. You made a decision to sit down and learn here now in this world. Well, you do it over there. You made a decision to be mechabed HaKadosh Baruch Hu and what He represents and what you represent in this world here. Guess what will happen? It will happen to you the same thing there. You'll be honored there. That's the way it works. Cause and effect. Life in Olam Haba is not like in this world. You do nothing and you get handouts from the government. You want something? Go get it. That's freedom. Why? Because if I tell you, you don't have to do anything, I'll give it to you, you're only going to get what I'll decide to give you. And today I decide to give you steaks. Tomorrow you're going to be eating, Crisco, because that's all you're going to get, because I'm the one who's giving you that to eat. And that's what you're going to eat. But if I'm saying to you, you know what? You want something to eat? Not a problem. Go get a job. Go for yourself. Then get whatever you want. So at the beginning, you're going to come complaining. Oh, why, you don't want to give me? You don't want to give me? You don't care about me? I said, no, I care about you. You're just a little buffoon. You don't understand. Go get a job, get your own money, and eat whatever you want. That's decisions that you make. That's the decisions you make. And if you made a conscious decision to be free, to want to have God in your life, to have meaning in your life, I want this, Rabbi, I want this. You're not going to get it by popping an LSD pill in your mouth like they did in the 60s. There are no shortcuts in life. You want to become a black belt? There's no problem. Here, take the belt, sit down on the road here, start walking up and down, throw your high kicks, throw your low kicks, do your block, do whatever you want to do. Go ahead and do that, and eventually you become a black belt. It doesn't make a difference it's going to happen to you in 10 years or in 25 years. That's not the point. You're on your way. You made a conscious decision to do it, and you're doing it. You're practicing your free choice. And God is giving us free choice. And we choose not to. Hey, it's not a problem. But there is a price for everything. There is a price for everything. It says that the Zohar says that when this happened, there's no greater embarrassment. There's embarrassment than that. When all the wicked people, those who did, everybody gets a little refinement over there in Olam Haba. They go out on Shabbat, and those people are staying in. So on that, somebody once explained to me, since in hell, or what we call hell, Gaon, it's all a spiritual thing, what is the fire? How can fire consume a spiritual thing? And he said it's very simple. It's embarrassment. If, for example, a person hit another person, his face will throb for a while. He'll be like, wow, like Mickey Mouse kind of a thing. Will throb. And after that, he'll get over it and move on. It will be okay. But if you insulted someone, that insult could be carried throughout his life. It will burn inside of him like fire. That's the fire of Gehinnom. The embarrassment. The embarrassment when you see your friends. Imagine you have a friend, a classmate of yours. You were buddies together. And you decide to go your way and he decides to go his way. and one time you were caught by the police for committing a crime, God forbid, and you're sitting down in the interrogation room, and the door opens up, and it's your best friend. Now you think you're going to get off, but you're not, because then you realize you both had the same choices, you just made the wrong ones. You chose not to choose, and that's not a choice. You have to choose, and not only you have to choose, you have to choose the good. And you're going to tell me, well, how could be a free choice if I'm only choosing good over bad? Because there's more than one good. There are many goods. Which one you can choose? You want to be a doctor. You want to be a lawyer. You want to be a farmer. There's nothing wrong with being a farmer. As a contrary, I think being a farmer is terrific. You want to grow sheep. Even better. There's nothing wrong with that. But to be a bum is not a choice that somebody should make in his life. To do nothing with your life is not a choice. To wait for things to happen is not a choice. As they say, go get a girl, right? Well, that's what it is. You have to get up and get it. You have to thrive, to attach yourself to something positive, to build, to evolve, to develop. And just like that, you get closer to God. These are the choices you make in life. So I wish that this Rosh Chodesh will be a beginning of the rest of our life, where we will be able to make good decisions. That we have the courage, first of all, to decide. Nothing to be afraid. And the fact that nobody is perfect, that's a freeing concept. Since everybody makes mistakes, I'm allowed to make mistakes as well. As long as I'm trying to move forward. The one mistake that you would never be able to overcome is the mistake of not trying. So let's try this month. There's no greater month to tap into that than the month of Sivan. It's all about learning Torah. We're 45 days into the Omer. You should know that the 45 days of the Omer, or the 49 days of the Omer, correspond in a way. How many ways in Masechet Avot, how many ways we have to acquire the Torah? 48. So why there's 49? One to do Chazara, to go over everything out. So there are 48 days of the Omer correspond with every midah, every ma'ala of learning the Torah. So look, for example, today on the 45th method of acquiring the Torah and try to live it today. And then do it next day, and the next day, and then go over it again and again and again. Make the right decisions. Ubacharta b'chaim. Bacharta b'chaim is you chose life. Life, en lecha chaim, en lecha mishu chai, ela mishu osek b'Torah. Only a person who deals with Torah, he's alive. Even when you're dead, you're alive. And Be'ezrat Hashem, I hope that everybody will be able to have siyata d'shemaya, help and support, b'limud Torah, in health, in parnasah, in wealth. Everybody should have enough money so they can give others, so they can share with others. Enough money that they can have the needs when they need it, on the amount that they need it, and they should realize that everything comes to their life, comes from HaKadosh Baruch Hu. And we should be able all to find it within ourselves. To first of all thank everybody around. And I got to tell you, all those people, they told me that we had a few thousand hits in the last 30 days. So I have to thank everybody for watching us and helping us. And I'm thanking you. Because if you thank people, eventually you'll be able to thank God as well. You cannot thank God if you can get it within you to help to thank people as well. So we should all have a Rosh Chodesh Tov and Shabbat Shalom and Geula Krova, freedom Geula Krova, and redemption. Amen. Ken Yeh Ratzon.